How's everybody doing today? Welcome into the final installment of King of the Hill Sports. It's draft day. I'm Matt Mods. This is my final fantasy draft of the season. This is a standard ESPN 12-man PPR league. I have been the commissioner of this league for about 15 years now. I've won the league in 2 of the last 4 years. I led the league in points 4 in 2 of the last 3 years. Nonetheless, this is a very competitive league. A lot of different champions. We have a trophy that goes around and gets passed from person to person. It's like the Stanley Cup. Today's the first day of the NFL regular season. I got on that Kyle Hamilton all black today. Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I put money on it. I'm not saying anything else. But also, it's draft day for the final time. Let's just jump right into it. Round 1. Here's how things shook out. Christian McCaffrey went first overall, as you would expect. Tyreek Hill number 2, CeeDee Lamb number 3. Now, I feel like those two are kind of interchangeable. People may have been scared off of CeeDee Lamb a little bit because of his contract situation. He has not practiced with the team, did not take part in the preseason at all. But he's back, he's paid. If Amon-Ra fell to me at 6, I would have taken him, but he didn't. He went 4th overall. 4th overall, Amon-Ra. I don't hate the pick. I like him there. I mean, he's safe. I feel like Amon-Ra is one of the safest first-round picks you could have this year. He might not have the highest ceiling like some of these guys, but I think he's the safest. Now, I'm happy here also. Amon-Ra, Breece, Bijan, any one of the 3 I would have taken. Breece was probably 3rd on my list there, though. I'm happy Breece went 5th. That's fine. I've seen Breece go top 3. That's a respectable pick. But I want Bijan this year. Bijan was good last year in his rookie season. And we all know how he was managed. He was mismanaged. In my first couple episodes, I name dropped his head coach from last year a few too many times. I'm not going to mention him anymore, but he's gone. Bijan is free. I think Bijan is going to be a monster this year. I'm big on Bijan. I don't usually like going running back round 1, but I think he was easily best available. I would much rather have him than Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson right now. But after that, Saquon Barkley goes 7. That is an interesting pick to me. I mean, I know the person picking after me is an Eagles fan, so, you know, it makes a little bit of sense. Saquon could have a big year. I mean, I think Saquon's more of a late first-round pick than 7, but I mean, if you really want Saquon, you know he's not coming back around you there. Jamar Chase, who's been practicing with the team, but is still holding out for a contract and might miss week 1. Are you okay picking Jamar Chase week 1 knowing that he might not play 1 or 2 weeks, but he'll be there for you down the stretch? You just need to have a backup plan if you're taking Jamar Chase in the first round. A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson. Everyone's hating on Justin Jefferson because of Sam Darnold. Justin Jefferson had some big games at the end of last season with Nick Mullins at quarterback. So, I mean, needless to say, both big games are against the Lions, and the Lions' pass defense wasn't the best. But he had some big games with Nick Mullins at quarterback. Is this the rebirth of Sam Darnold we're about to witness? Is it? Jonathan Taylor, another safe pick. Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs on the wraparound. 3 running backs, rounds 1 through 3 here. Very interesting. Garrett Wilson on the swing around. Pacheco, Gibbs, ETN, Puka Nacua. I am very happy here. Marvin Harrison Jr., baby. I am big on Marvin Harrison Jr. this year. I forget what the exact stat was, but I think it was something along the lines of wide receivers taken in the first 5 picks have always had 125 plus targets in their rookie season, except for Corey Davis, who got injured in his rookie season and was injured for the rest of his career for the most part. RIP. But you'll also see, stack him with 6th round Kyler Murray. Happy about that. I like the QB wide receiver stack here. I'm big on Kyler. I'm big on Marvin Harrison. I also had Chris Olave last year. Chris Olave wasn't bad. He could have been better. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. just has a much higher ceiling than Chris Olave does this year. I mean, let's face it, healthy Kyler is better than healthy Derek Carr. Now, my 3rd round pick, I go Joe Mixon. Now, I was looking at James Cook. I was looking at Kamara. I was looking at Devon Achane. Kenneth Walker probably would have been the 5th on my list out of those 5. But Bijan has a round 12 bye. Kamara has a round 12 bye. James Cook has a round 12 bye. It's great, right? Everybody with the same bye weeks. Now, so really, narrowed it down here to Achane or Joe Mixon. I just think Joe Mixon doesn't have any competition in that backfield. I was never a fan of Dameon Pierce ever since he came out of Florida. I knew he couldn't handle the rock that much. Dameon Pierce was like hardly used in Florida as a running back, and then you expect him to come into the NFL and run 300 times a year? No, called that from his rookie year. Cam Akers and Dameon Pierce, I don't think they're going to challenge Joe Mixon all that much at all. I do like Stephon Diggs this year. I think he's going to be in the slot a lot between Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Do I like him more than DK? I don't. But I think I needed this running back here, and for good reason. As you could see on the swing around, they all would have been gone probably anyway. If I didn't take Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon's not here, and then when I'm stuck with DeAndre Swift or any of these guys who went in round 6. Round 5, ideally I wanted Zay Flowers or Rashee Rice. Both of them get taken. Rashee Rice goes right before my pick. Of course he does. I wanted Rashee Rice more than Terry. So I'll take Terry McLaurin. Again, I'm getting a lot of guys in this draft who don't have too much competition. Now that Jahan Dotson is gone, who is competing with Terry McLaurin for targets? Dynami Brown and Zach Ertz. I'm not all that worried about those two. I've never been the biggest fan of Terry McLaurin, but this year I do like him simply because he's really all they got. Kyler round 6, and I haven't mentioned this is a 3 wide receiver league. Deontay Johnson is going to be in my flex. I like Deontay this year. I have Deontay Johnson on all of my teams this year. I love Deontay Johnson this year. I'm surprised he fell this far. I know he has a hamstring injury already, but I like Kyle Pitts. Again, I like Kyle Pitts. New offense. Another little stack I got going, kind of. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. Now, I do realize I already have 2 Arizona Cardinals, 2 Atlanta Falcons, and 2 Houston Texans already. Guess I'm going to be rooting for those teams this year. You'll also see with my next round pick, I have 2 Carolina Panthers, even though Jonathan Brooks might not play until later this season. So there goes Kyle Pitts. And they have Kirk Cousins this year. Kirk Cousins is better than Desmond Ridder was. Let's face it. So I'll take Kyle Pitts as my tight end. I don't, he's a little bit scary after the last couple of years, but I'll take him. I like it. And let's go over the last picks real quick here. Khalil Shakir in Buffalo, I like. Jaleel McLaughlin. It'll be interesting to see how that Denver running back room shakes up. Javonte is the number 1, but I think Jaleel is going to be more of the receiving back. He might get a lot more work than you think. Romeo Doubs is my favorite wide receiver in the Green Bay wide receiver room, simply based on like ADP. He's going as the 3rd wide receiver, and I think he's the safest option of those top 3 guys. Now, I'm a little thin at running back since Jonathan Brooks is out, injured for at least the first 4 weeks. Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyrone Tracy are my only 2 backup running backs right now, but the good news is my 2 starters, Bijan Robinson and Joe Mixon, don't have bye weeks till weeks 12 or 14, so Jonathan Brooks should be totally healthy by then. Maybe Tyrone Tracy will be the Giants starting running back by then as well. Jaleel McLaughlin, also potential for that, so we'll wait and see. I did a lot of mock drafts. I was kind of surprised how tight the talent pool got at the end of this draft. I feel like in mock drafts there are guys in the last couple of rounds who I'm still very happy about. And that's what I'm saying about this being a competitive league. Like toward the end, you have guys like Leonard Fournette coming off the board. Hayden Hurst, Hunter Henry, Tank Bigsby, Will Shipley. Like, sure, people take sleepers in the last round, but I think like legitimately there wasn't that much talent left to go around. As you head over to my final squad here, the Landry Longhorns, baby, King of the Hill Sports, horns up. Here's the final look, and as you will see, I moved Jonathan Brooks to IR already, and I had to pick up Greg Dortch, the human Dortch. I handcuffed my wide receiver. I handcuffed my round 1 wide receiver with Greg Dortch, and you know what? I don't hate it that much. I like the team. I think we could go places this year. Kyler Murray, Bijan Robinson, Joe Mixon, Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, Kyle Pitts, Terry McLaurin. Now, the one thing about this team is everybody has bye week 10 or later besides my kicker, Jake Bates. He has bye week 5. Everybody else has bye week 10 or later. So my team is going to be at full strength all year long. So I need to win early because those last 3 weeks of the fantasy regular season are going to kind of be a rough stretch for me, and I know that. And I'm willing to live with that. But I'm about to get off to a hot start. We will take a quick look at what the waiver wire looks like. I actually wanted Justice Hill as my replacement for Jonathan Brooks going on IR, and somebody beat me to Justice Hill because he was very clearly the best available running back that was left. Because as you can see here, you have Miles Sanders, Deontay Foreman, Emmanuel Wilson. We know Clyde Edwards-Helaire isn't even going to play. I don't know why he still has a projection. Look at this. Just look at this. I actually kind of like Audric Estime a little bit. I talked about how I like Jaleel McLaughlin. I think Estime might be a piece of that running back room more than you think. Samaje Perine was very involved last year. He's gone. We'll see how they work in a third running back this year. We will end on one final look of the Landry Longhorns. This is my team. This is the last It Is Draft Day of the year. And it's game night. Game night, Ravens-Chiefs. Let's see how the game goes. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown scorer. Got a couple bucks on it. Let's go, Derrick Henry. He's the king. King of the hill.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
On to next week. We'll be taking a look at the waiver wire. We'll be cutting people from the Guillotine League forever. Things are going to get interesting. The season's underway. The drafts are done. It is NFL season, baby. Let's go. Signing out.